provider. So what I typically do in any other demonstration outside of this Zapier one is I usually stop here. I show you all the things that you can connect with. But this is why I was saying earlier, it would be a good idea right now if you have Zapier or if you have this set up to get to this point so that you can see what your own fields look like. Because I have an active campaign and I have an Entreport already connected, and so I'll be able to show you what happens next. But yours is going to, if you don't have active campaign, if you have like Infusionsoft or MailChimp or ConvertKit or Drip or whoever else you have, your next few screens are going to look different from mine, but you're going to be doing the same things, okay? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to choose active campaign because I already have it connected. Now, what I'm looking for when I've got new leads coming in or new traffic coming into a segmentation funnel or even a survey, really, is I'm looking to update or create a new account or a new contact, I should say. So in Active Campaign, that's called Create Update Contact. In MailChimp, I think it's something similar to that. It might be, the wording might be a little different. Here, let me actually back up a second. I think Entreport is a little bit different. But ultimately, it's the same thing. I'm looking to create or update a contact, okay? So then I'm going to choose that option here. I'm going to save and continue, and I've already connected my Active Campaign account. If you haven't already, and this is another thing too, they're all different. Like, real quick, I'm going to actually bring you over to what Active Campaigns look like. I pulled it up earlier just to show you. So in Active Campaign, what you got to do is come over, your settings, and then developer, and then you pull the this API access information here, right? But on MailChimp, it's totally different. Infusionsoft, completely different. What you're looking for, though, is your API access. And most times, when you go to connect the account, it'll kind of tell you what they're looking for. So for Active Campaign, it tells you right here, log into your Active Campaign account, click My Settings, and then go to the Developer tab on the menu, right? And it tells you what to pull. Most cases, they'll tell you how to do it. If they don't, what I would say to do is just log into the help section of your email service provider, and then just do a quick search for Zapier. Because again, most people that connect to Zapier will tell you how to. So I'm going to close that because it's already connected. So that's what I would do right now. If you currently are not connected to your email service provider, I would just connect the account, see if there's instructions on how to do it. If not, jump over to your email service provider and do a quick help and see if they'll tell you in their help section how to get to the Zapier stuff. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit save and continue. And this is where this is the fun part. This is where you're creating the template for your leads. Okay, these are leads that are coming into your email service provider. And so what you're going to do now is direct that template for specifically to this the funnel that you're working with. So in this case, you know what? I'm going to change the name of this. If you don't change the name over here in your zaps, it'll get crazy because they'll all say my first zap. So I'm just going to do Zapier test segmentation. All right. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to choose a list. And again, yours is going to be different in Infusionsoft, right? It won't be called a list. It'll be called I don't know exactly what it's called. If you're in your Infusionsoft and you want to let us know what it's called, that's fine. That would be awesome. But again, this is where it starts getting different, right? But all I'm basically doing is telling Active Campaign where I want the lead to go. So I would choose, in this case, I would choose a list. Now, here's where everything is the same. When you're going to be sending an email address to any email service provider, right? So what you're going to want to do is come over here to where it's got the little blue blinky thing, and that's a drop-down menu. And what you're going to do is you're going to choose email. Okay, so whatever email address gets put in the email field, that is what's going to go in here. If you're collecting a name, then whatever was in the name field, you would choose that as in whatever, you know, full name, whatever the field is for your email service provider, that's what you would put there. If you collect a phone number, same thing. Like in your survey, I know a lot of people choose phone number because again, it's part of the survey process. So if you choose a phone number, you would just come over here and grab phone. Now let's say for your segmentations questions, like in our case, I'm going to come back over here to build, and we've got our segmentation questions, right? We've got the roadblock holding you back. So what I would look for here is the field for wherever I wanted the roadblock to be. Let's just call it main segmentation, right? So what I would do here is I would come over and I would pull down Zapier test seg Q1, right? Because that was the main question. If you do, like in my case here, both of these questions are the same segmentation. So I would actually choose, you can put multiple fields on one. You see here, you can actually put multiple responses in one field if you want to. You can separate them. I believe you can actually put a comma. Yep. You can even separate them by a comma. You don't have to put two in one field. In this specific case, it fits. In your case, if you have more than one question, you would have different fields to put your questions into. Now, I'm going to give you another little trick to do inside of Zapier, and it's with tagging. Because what I like to do with tagging is if somebody actually fills out a specific survey, I want to say that survey got completed. So if your lead comes through here, I would actually create this tag called Zap test, right? So that any lead that comes through that fills out this form, they're going to have a tag applied to it that's called Zap test. And so I can do, later on, I could pull all the emails and send an email broadcast out to, or do email marketing to everyone with the tag Zap test. Or I could go even further and say I can send an email to everyone who has the tag Zap test, who also has hitting my goals and deadlines, or knowing what's really working today. Does that make sense? So what you're looking for here, and what these fields mean, so Zap test seg Q1 isn't what's going to go through. It's whatever they chose in this field that gets entered into this field here and gets sent over to your email marketing service. So once you're done setting up your lead, you have it to where it's got all the data that you want it to from Bucket. You would come over here, hit continue, and then it shows you what the lead would look like. It'll tell you where it's going, what the email address is, and you notice it's got like some lorem ipsum type information in here. That's just because that's the test lead. Once you publish and start passing regular data through, it sends whatever gets actually filled into the funnel. So we'll create and continue. It sends that info over to ActiveCampaign. Everything's successful, ready to go. You click finish, and then once you turn your Zap on and leads start getting entered into the published version of your segmentation funnel or your discovery survey, those leads, those contact details will be sent to your email service provider. But that's the thing. Make sure you heard what I said. Only in the published version. If you're trying to do it in the preview, it's not going to make its way into the email service provider. Those leads won't go into your email marketing service. It has to be the published link. And that's how you connect Zapier. I mean, it's